السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين، أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره. English or Arabic? I am very grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me this blessing to meet you and to show together our devotion to Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, to Abu Abdullah and all the martyrs of Karbala, and also because this is month of Safar, and in these days in particular we remember Imam Hassan Al Mujtaba alayhi salam. So our majlis tonight has a double fragrance of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, and it was suggested that we dedicate this majlis to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. So I thought perhaps it would be very wise to listen together to an advice given by Imam Hassan alayhi salam towards end of his life to Junada. I'm sure you have heard this beautiful advice of Imam many times, but no matter how many times you have reflected on this, it's always something very powerful and can change our life if we really pay attention to it and put it into practice. The hadith is that when Imam alayhi salam was ill and he was in a very critical condition and was just maybe a matter of few hours or a few days maximum to his death and to his martyrdom, Junada visited Imam alayhi salam and said, "A'zani, O Imam, please give me maw'izah. Please give me advice." You know that everyone is in need of maw'izah. Even Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sometimes had Jibreel to give him maw'izah. Great companions of the Prophet, they were always asking for maw'izah, for advice. Unfortunately, we don't have that custom or habit of having people who give maw'izah. We have people who give lectures and sermons, but maw'izah is something which is very special in function, because maw'izah first of all must be coming from someone who is known and recognized as a spiritual person, and also should be specific. Maw'izah normally is not general. Maw'izah has to be directed towards someone or a group who are similar. So it's different from giving a general lecture. Maw'izah is like a prescription that you have to give to a particular person or group who are similar. And if a right maw'izah is given, it can do miracles. Like the way Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam gave maw'izah to Hammam. And as you know, at the end, Hammam was so much overwhelmed by this maw'izah that all his attachments and belonging to dunya evaporated, and he was ready to fly. So he soon departed. And Imam alayhi salam said, هَكَذَا تَصْنَعُ الْمَوَاعِظُ الْبَالِغَةِ بِأَهْدَى. If there is a maw'izah which is reaching to the point, reaches the heart and can penetrate into all the wells and reaches the heart, then it would have this impact. This is not something exceptional. This is actually the norm. So it's very good to have people who know us and ask them to give us maw'izah. So Junada was very clever and realized that this is the best time for him and perhaps the last opportunity to ask Imam alayhi salam for maw'izah. So he said, "Idhni." Imam alayhi salam said, "Ista'id li-safarik." Imagine Imam with all the knowledge that he has and knowing that he's going to leave the community, now wants to give Junada a maw'izah, but something that through Junada can also reach other people. So he must summarize every important thing that he wants to make sure that his Shia remember. So it's a summary of the summary of the summary of Imam's knowledge and Imam's life. Ista'id li-safarik. Be prepared for your journey. We are not stationed. Although we have this habit that as soon as we are somewhere for even few days, we get used to it and we think we are going to be here forever. Even people who are put in prison, after some time they get used to their cell and they think this is their home. So sometimes quickly we get attached. It has positive aspect because then we don't always feel like a stranger, but it has negative aspect because then we may forget that we are not supposed to be here forever. So we have to be always remembering that we are in a journey. But this journey needs preparation. This journey is the journey that needs the greatest preparation. If you imagine when they wanted to send, for example, people to moon, how much preparation it needed. The preparation that we need compared to that is much, much more. Because still that is a journey which is in this world with limited distance. So a journey inside the physical world and with limited physical distance. But our journey is infinite and it's a journey from this world to the hereafter, so it's much more complicated. So we need more preparation. If it took them long time, many years to prepare, it takes all our life to be prepared for that journey, even we are not sure at the end, are we ready or we are not. Most of people actually are not prepared for the journey. So Imam said, Junada, you must be prepared for your journey. One important aspect of this preparation is what you are going to do in this world. For example, if you have debts to pay, if you have, I don't know, family, projects, everything you have to plan so that when you travel to the other world, things, as much as you have control, would be in a good condition. the rest is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But part of preparation is not for this world. Part of preparation is for what you want to take with yourself. So he says, وَحَسِّلْ زَادَكَ قَبْلَ حُلُولَ أَجَلِكَ. Before your deadline comes, acquire, collect your provision. No one is going to send you, and no one is going to supply you over there. It's only you who has sent it in advance. You cannot get it in future. You cannot buy it. You cannot steal it. It's just something that you have to do it yourself. No one else can do it for you. So before the deadline comes, you must prepare your provision. Of course, this means that you must know what can be useful for this journey. You know, imagine, for example, if you want to go to a place and you don't know whether weather is cold there or hot. You don't know, is it going to be moderate, freezing cold? It's going to be very hot. If you don't know, then you don't know what type of dress you have to take with you, what type of clothes you have to take with you. You don't know, is it a place that you would have, for example, basic accommodation, or it's a place that they provide you with, I don't know, bed, with blanket, towels. So based on the knowledge that you have, you can decide what you need to take. And also based on the duration. Is it for one night? Is it for 1 week? Is it for 1 month? Is it for a year? It's for what? So it's very important that you provide yourself with suitable provision, suitable in material, suitable in quantity, suitable in quality, so that you can benefit from it for your journey. But the sad thing is, your time is very limited. You know, sometimes you go to a shop, for example, just few minutes before they close. And although you may have money and you know what you want, but the time is very short. Before, you know, you manage to take 2-3 items, they say you have to leave and go to the counter. Time is always limited. Even if you have 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, it still is too short. Let alone, we don't know when the deadline is coming. I was very moved when for the first time I saw this hadith that if someone even considers the next day as part of his life, this is tulul amal. This is unrealistic desire that you think that I am going to be here for 1 more day, and then I am worried about 2 days later, 3 days later, but tomorrow I am alive. If you even think that you are going to be certainly alive till tomorrow, if you take this 24 hours for granted, this is also tulul amal. So we don't know how much time we have, although even if we have the longest life, would be very short. وَعْلَمْ. Then Imam Hassan alayhi salam says, be aware that أَنَّكَ تَطْلُبُ الدُّنْيَا وَالْمَوْتُ يَطْلُبُكَ. You are after dunya, but death is also after you. You know, suppose you are chasing someone and someone else is also chasing you. So you have to be very clever that you hide yourself, or as much as possible run away from the people who chase you, but at the same time you have to make sure that you don't waste your time in chasing something which is not useful. You go after dunya, this puts you in danger, because by going after dunya, you are not able to save you from death which is coming after you. So you are in a very tricky situation. وَلَا تَحْمِلْ هَمَّ يَوْمِكَ الَّذِي لَمْ يَأْتِهِ عَلَى يَوْمِكَ الَّذِي أَنْتَ فِيهِ. One of the things that we have to learn is to manage our concerns. You know, we have a stress management, but it's not only a stress management. We have to manage our concerns. We have to manage our attention. Your attention is taking great part of your energy. So, if there is something that I am going to face next week, or next month, or after some years, at the same time that if it needs preparation from now, I should prepare from now. But if there is nothing that I can do now as preparation, I should not just keep thinking and worrying unnecessarily. Unfortunately, one of the problems is that in this world we worry a lot for the things which we are not supposed to worry, and for the things that are very important we normally don't worry, or we don't have even time to think about them. We have to worry about every decision that we make, every word that we say, every relation we make, every transaction, every contract, to make sure that it is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. But normally we don't have that much of care and muraqabah and self-monitoring. But for example, what am I going to do after 10 years, after 15 years, after 20 years? My children want to go, for example, to university. I don't know, they want to do this, they want to do that. What am I going to do with, my, I don't know, mortgage, my retirement, many things. So, you have to be far-sighted. I'm not saying that you forget these things, but I'm saying if there is nothing you can do now, you shouldn't worry now. Focus on what you have to do now. لا تحمل هم يومك الذي لم يأته على يومك الذي أنت فيه. Don't load the day that you have with the concerns of the day which has not come yet. And then Imam alayhi salam said, you must also be aware that you don't acquire anything from this world. وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّكَ لَا تَكْسِبُ مِنَ الْمَالِ شَيْئًا فَوْقَ قُوتِكَ إِلَّا كُنْتَ خَازِنًا لِغَيْرِكَ. Anything above your need that you acquire, you are just responsible to looking after it, safeguarding it for other people. It can be your family, it can be governments, it can be people who would take advantage of your absence. So what is more than what you need is only a responsibility and burden for you. Then Imam alayhi salam said, and remember, Imam is in a very critical situation. His health is in a very critical situation. He's going to depart soon. He has many things for the community in his mind. So what he says must be of utmost importance. It's as I said, summary of Imam's knowledge and life. Imam says things are in three categories. Either they are halal, means clearly halal, or haram, clearly haram, or shubuhat. There are things which are not very clear. There is a gray area. Those things which are haram, it's very obvious. And alhamdulillah, mu'mineen, normally they don't go after haram. The problem that mu'mineen have is mostly with two things. One is those things which are shubuhat, things that there is a way to rationalize and justify, but if with open heart and mind you look at it, you know it is not good. So you can find a loophole or a way to say it is okay, but you don't feel comfortable. You know there is something here, there's a problem here. So these are shubahat. And then we have things which are halal. We know they are clearly halal. So what should be our policy? When it comes to haram, there is iqab, there is punishment, and definitely Mu'min doesn't go for haram. When it is shubahat, again Mu'min is very careful, because you don't want to take any risk. You don't take any risk about your money, you don't take any risk about your health. So how can you take risk with your relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How can you take a risk with your eternal happiness? So shubahat also have to be avoided. What about halal? Things which are clearly halal. Again, Imam Al Hassan says even here you must try to be very economical, because even for halal, at least there is questioning, at least there is hisab, and it's not something that you will never be brought back to give account. No, you must definitely give account in a very, of course, uncomfortable situation on the Day of Judgment. So he says, وَعْلَمْ أَنَّ فِي حَلَالِهَا حِسَاب. In halal of dunya there is hisab. Not in dunya only, of course. In dunya you have to sometimes give hisab, but sometimes people manage maybe to don't give any account in dunya, or at least to don't give account for everything. But in the hereafter, for everything, even every halal thing that we did, we said, every halal food, every halal drink, every halal meeting, still we have to show that it was halal, and my intention was halal, my interaction was halal, my involvement was halal. Everything we have to answer. I didn't do any zulm to anyone, I didn't do any zulm to myself. So there is hisab. وَفِي حَرَامِهَا عِقَابٌ. But God forbids, if it is haram, in addition to that hisab, then it ends with, now, okay, you didn't provide us with enough answer and explanation, so now you have to be punished. وَفِي الشُّبُهَاتِ عِتَابٌ. With respect to shubahat, also there is itab. What does it mean? It means even with those shubahat that later are proved to be halal, not shubahat which later are proved to be haram. If they are proved to be haram, okay, the person will be fine. But if they are proved to be halal, still you will be blamed why you took risk. Like for example, if I take a cup of water on the street and I don't know who has put this, either it can poison me, or even if it doesn't poison me, people would blame me. Rational people say, why you took this? Why you took risk? If I don't know certain things and I say, for example, people ask me mas'ala shari, if I don't know, I am not sure, I answer. Even if the answer happens to be correct, I will be blamed. We have, about those who are judged, that 3 groups of judges are in trouble. People who don't know and judge, whether they judge properly or not, they are in trouble. And people who know and misjudge are also in trouble. Only who know and judge properly, they have no problem. So those who don't know and judge properly, still they are in trouble, because they took risk. And the cost is that the rights of people can be damaged. So there is itab in shubahat. Then Imam Hassan alayhi salam said, فأنزل الدنيا بمنزلة الميتة خذ منها ما يكفيك. Based on what was said, Imam says, now your policy towards dunya must be to be pleased with the minimum. Minimum doesn't mean that you have to suffer. Minimum doesn't mean that you should have no, for example, good home or good clothes or good education. Means there must be no excess. There must be no luxury. There must be nothing that people in your condition would say that this is too much. Because then either it is halal, then you have to at least give hisab, or it is haram, it is iqab, or it is shubha, it is atab. Plus, with this energy that you have put in this, you could do lots of things for your akhirah. So, just try to be using it as much as needed. And then this famous part, again, this is also very famous, the beginning was also very famous. This is also attributed to Imam Ali alayhi salam. There is a similar hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen. وَعْمَلْ لِدُنْيَاكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَعِيشُ أَبَدًا. It's a very good equation if you want to have a proper balance with respect to this world and the hereafter. This equation gives you proper balance. وَعْمَلْ لِدُنْيَاكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَعِيشُ أَبَدًا. When it comes to this world, you must think that you are going to be here forever. There are two interpretations of this. I am going to be here forever in the sense that I should not rush. I should be patient. Take your time when it comes to dunya. Don't rush. So one aspect of it is that don't prioritize dunya over akhirah, because for dunya you have plenty of time. Akhirah you don't know. So when it comes to doing something for dunya which is not urgent, take your time. But if it comes to, for example, doing something for akhirah, like a charity act, don't take your time. Do it as quick as possible, as soon as possible. So for dunya, take your time. For akhirah, try to be fast. This is why Quran says, "Sari'u ila maghfiratin min rabbikum wa jannatin." For akhirah, you have to be fast. In dunya, take your time. Don't waste your time. Don't delay unnecessarily, but take your time. Don't rush. Be patient. Another interpretation, and both perhaps can be combined, is that when it comes to dunya, plan it in the way that as if you are here forever. For example, I want to build a farm, a house, repair a car. I want to, make some artistic work. We want to make some monuments. We want to make bridges, whatever. We should try to do it in the way that they can last as long as possible. Don't say, I'm not going to be here, so I don't need to make this house very strong because I'm going to die soon. Or for example, this person has brought this car to me to fix it. Or this patient has brought, for example, his, child, for example, to give him a glass or to fix his tooth. I don't need to think about long term because I am going to die, they are going to die, who is going to be alive tomorrow? No. This is misuse of what we have said. When it comes to doing things for dunya, take your time, don't rush, but do it in the way that you may be here forever. If you know that, for example, this patient may be coming to you after many, many years and ask you why you did this, or this house that you built, after 100 years you have to give answer. So you will be very careful. So when it comes to dunya, we have to be the best in planning the best in management, maybe not the most in consuming, we are not consuming the most, but at least in managing and planning, we have to be the best. But when it comes to akhirah, we try to collect the most. Then Imam alayhi salam said, وَإِذَا أَرَدْتَ. This also is a very important sentence, and we have it in the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Very important sentence. وَإِذَا أَرَدْتَ عِزًّا بِلَا عَشِيرَةٍ وَهَيْبَةً بِلَا سُلْطَانٍ. I'm sure every person wants honor. Few years ago I had this discussion based on my personal reflection that the most important thing I think for humanity in future would be honor and respect, would be dignity. And I was trying to connect this to Imam Hussein alayhi salam and Imam Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. I think the most important thing that all human beings, regardless their religions, their ethnicity, their culture, something that all human beings want is honor and dignity. And this is going to be very high, if not the highest priority in Imam Mahdi alayhi salam's mission. And this is also very much obvious in the movement of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. For Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Izzah, opposite to Zillah, Karama, was very important. And you know how Imam Hussein alayhi salam on different occasions explained that for him, even life, which is very important, the only opportunity that we have for collecting provision, for making ourselves and the world better, is our life. But even life without izzah, without dignity, is not worth living. Life without dignity is not worth living. And death with dignity is better than life without dignity. الموت أولى من ركوب العار والعار أولى من دخول النار. إني لا أرى الموت إلا سعادة والحياة مع الظالمين إلا ضرما. And so I had some discussion about this. If you are interested in the lectures about connection between Imam Hussein and Imam Mahdi, I have tried to explain this. And I think for us Shia, this is very important discussion to know how we should present Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We have to present him as the icon for honor and dignity, something that all people can subscribe to and can appreciate, and something which is less controversial. Because if we talk about, justice, if we talk about welfare, many things, people can bring, different excuses to give preference to their own perspective. We say this is zone, say no, this is not zone. But karama is something which is less controversial. For example, the way certain people are treated. If we ask governments, why you treat them like this, they can bring lots of reasons and excuses. But if you ask them, is this honorable, respectful way, they don't have any answer, unless they are really observing respect and honor. It's something that you cannot play with it that much. It's very, very clear, and it has clear borders. Anyway, izzah is very important for us. But how you can get izzah? Izzah is not something that you can get it from black market. Izzah is not something that you can get it by bribery or by deception. Izzah has its own source and supplier. Man kana yuridu al-'izzah falillah al-'izzah. If you need izzah, izzah belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, man إذا أردت عزا بلا عشيرة. If you want to have dignity and honor and respect without belonging to a big tribe, big party, big group, who would support you? Sometimes people think that because they belong to a party or group or tribe, they can provide them with izzah. But if you want to have izzah, even without having any worldly backup, even without having any political, affiliation, وَهِيبَةً بِلَا سُلْطَانٍ. If you want people to treat you with respect and awe without you being in power, because sometimes people, because they are in power, people are afraid and they have to respect them. There is security, there is police, there is guard, there is army, there is prison, so people have to respect them. But if you want people naturally respect you, if you want people with their heart respect you, what's the solution? So, without belonging to a group, tribe or party, and people's respect and all towards you without having any sovereignty and kingdom and power. فاخرج من ذل معصية الله إلى عز طاعة الله. So you must try to make sure that you put yourself in the right relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sinning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means you have deprived yourself from the source of izzah, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If a person tries to fix his relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah in place of this would give him many things. One of the things is that Allah would provide him and cover him with izzah. But if you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and na'udhu billah declare enmity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by sinning him, especially by public sinning him, or by sinning him with pride, even if it is in private, na'udhu billah. Because sometimes a person in private and with sense of guilt and embarrassment make a sin. It's very bad, it's still very bad. But this is not like declaring war. But if, na'udhu billah, we commit sin in public, or in private we take it easy and we don't feel guilty because no one is seeing me, and we can do these things, These, both of them are declaration of war. It's very, very dangerous. With this, sooner or later, your izzah will be missed and lost. So, this is the saying of Imam alayhi salam, and inshallah we should always keep refreshing ourselves with this and similar hadith. What I would like also to say just for a few minutes is that what type of impact this can have on us as a community. Because normally when we take these things, we take them for our personal reflection and personal behavior, which of course is very important. And every moment is always to be thinking about his personal relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if you are surrounded with thousands or millions of people, still you must have your private time for thinking about your relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why night is very important for us. This is why nawafil are very important for us, and they are recommended to be said at home, because we need to have some privacy with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is certainly the case. But what about us as a community? What type of thing we as Muslims, as followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, should consider, especially in this part of the world? This is, I think, very important question. I think one of the important responsibilities that we have, in addition to our personal spirituality, is that we have to be witness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. Allah has made this ummah a balanced, a middle ummah. There are different tafsirs for this, but a very famous tafsir is that wasatiyya means balance. So we have to be balanced. And it is not only for ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us also to be witness for other people. In the same way that Rasulullah was witness over us, we have to be witness for other people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought us from different parts of the world to this land. I don't think we have come here just for personal reasons. Someone for study, someone for business, sometimes people for political reasons, sometimes people are running away from tyrant governments, sometimes there are wars. So these are personal reasons. But in the master plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has planned that there would be a group of people here, faithful people, who can be witness for people of this land, for people of this world. And this being witness is much more than just we share with them the teachings of Islam and Ahlul Bayt. We talk about Ahlul Bayt, we introduce our beautiful teachings. It's more than that. With our entirety, we have to be witness. Shaheed is not the one who just speaks or writes or makes, movies or puts posts on social media. This is not enough to be shaheed. Witness is the one that their presence, their existence, their encounter is a witness, let alone interaction with them. So we should always think that what is our historical role today in this part of the world? Why we are here? Is there any mission for us? Is there any responsibility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put on our shoulder as a community or not? We are just here to make sure that we look after ourselves and family, even our spirituality, but in a personal way. I think we have great responsibility and at the same time opportunity that never existed in the past to be witnesses for those things that we believe, for those things which are dear to us. But we have to be reflecting them. We have to be exhibiting them with maximum ease, maximum access. And that is when it becomes naturally coming from us. When something is naturally coming from you, people easily get it. But if it comes through words, then they need interpretation, they need confirmation, they need to do lots of checking to make sure there is honesty, so many things. So I hope, inshallah, our community in different parts of the world, especially those who live in circumstances like here, would be able to be good witnesses for humanity, the nas, for all people, Muslims, non-Muslims, believers, non-believers. We have to be witness. Even there is a sense that I believe we can be witnesses of truth, witnesses of love, witnesses of mercy, even for the environment. A believer, when it comes to dealing with the environment, also must reflect the beauty of faith. We cannot, make too much waste and think we are witnesses. So that's another discussion. But at least for nas, for people, we have to be witnesses. I hope, inshallah, with people like you who are, mashallah, very dedicated and very understanding and committed, inshallah, soon we would reach that point that without us saying anything, people would be feeling inspired by us and they would ask us to talk to them more, inshallah. I just read a few lines in Farsi about Imam Hassan alayhi salam, and inshallah you will benefit from brothers. اللهم صل على
محمد.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
You know that Imam Hassan alayhi salam had very difficult life. The best part of Imam's life was at the time of the presence of Prophet Mohammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But even that time was not easy time. Those years in Medina, as you know, were with lots of challenges inside Medina, even inside the people who had family ties, people who were claiming also to be Muslims, and were part of the community. And then with all different types of challenges they had with the people of Mecca, with certain tribes. So it was a very difficult time, but still, because all of them were together, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Lady Fatima, Amirul Mu'mineen, that was the best part, despite all the difficulties. But then, the demise of the Prophet, the demise of Lady Fatima, those 25 years that Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam says, Sabartu wa fil ayn qadha wa fil halq shaja. Then you must understand, if this does this to Amirul Mu'mineen, what would it do to Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein as a young, men? When Imam was so much under pressure, for sure, his family were also so much under pressure. And then the difficulties of 5 years of Amirul Mu'mineen's caliphate, Safin, Nahrawan, all these Jamal difficulties. And then after that, when Imam becomes the successor and becomes the Imam, and for Muslims Khalifa, then how to deal with Muawiyah, and all the things that unfortunately we don't have time, about the way that even people in his own camp and his own army did not trust his leadership, questioned his decisions. They used to address him without due respect. It was very, very difficult. So the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam is a very, very challenging life, and this is why we all as Shia have this clear association between Imam Hassan alayhi salam and patience and suffering and hilm, because that life without patience and forbearance could never be lived. And the Martyrdom of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, that says everything about his life and about his condition. The fact that your wife is happy to cooperate with your enemy, with Muawiyah, and by taking some money and by being promised to marry Yazid is happy to poison you, it says a lot. That even Ahlul Bayt in their own house, they were not comfortable. Even in their own house, they were not able to trust. Of course, they were so kind and so patient that they were not treating people with a kind of dictatorship that as soon as they don't trust someone, they kill them, they punish them, they send them away. No, they were trying to be maximum manifestation of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as long as someone has not committed a crime, they were not going to question that person. But they were suffering. So Ja'd was promised to marry Yazid and was given 100,000 dirham, and she accepted to poison Imam alayhi salam. This is very, very painful how Imam was treated even inside his family. And then when he passed away, the way they treated his body. So it was not enough that during his life he was denied respect, even his body was denied respect. از ماتم حسن همه کون و مکان گریست. From the tragedy of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, the whole world and the whole space cried. چون در کنار او شه لب تشنگان گریست. Especially when the king of the thirsty people cried while he was sitting next to him. Imam Hussein alayhi salam came to visit Imam Hassan when Imam alayhi salam was in a very critical situation. He cried when he realized that Imam is going to depart soon. زهر جفا چو بر جگرش کارگر شدی، زهرا و مرتضا و نبی در جنان گریست. When the poison of injustice was able to damage the liver of Imam and threaten the life of Imam, Lady Fatima, Amirul Mu'minin, and the Prophet also cried, but in heaven. So not only Imam Hussein cried next to the body of Imam Hassan, but Lady Fatima and Imam Ali and the Prophet also cried in heaven. Zainab چو دید لخت جگر از برادرش، چندان گریست که از علمش آسمان گریست. When Lady Zainab, who had great love for her brother Imam Hassan, as she had also great love for Imam Hussein, of course he had love for Imam Hassan alayhi salam also. When she saw that this blood or parts of the liver of Imam, of her brother, she cried so hard that even the sky cried for the pain in the heart of Zainab. عباس نوجوان به کنار جنازه اش، بر سر زنان ز ماتم شاه جهان گریست. Hazrat Abbas, who was younger at that time, but he was also witnessing, and next to the body of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, he was also crying زان تیرها که بر تنش آمد ز جور کین تا روز حشر حضرت صاحب زمان گریست. And because of those arrows that hit the body of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, up to the day of judgment, Imam Mahdi is also crying. بر قبر بی چراغ و به مظلومیتش فلک با عرش و فرش و جمله کروبیان گریست. Yet there is another aspect of the sorrow for Imam Hassan, and that is the way his grave is maintained, without any light, without the lovers of Imam being able to show their love and respect to Imam. And this makes the Arsh, the divine throne, and the whole world and the angels to cry for Imam. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq to know better the beautiful legacy of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and in particular to remember how no matter what difficult situation they went through, they always remained mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and focused on their responsibilities towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a manifestation of love, manifestation of virtues, manifestation of manners and etiquettes. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
نستقبل بالصلوات السيد حسين الصالح نائب السلطان.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله وعلى آل بيتك المظلومين. صلى الله عليك وعلى ريحانتك الإمام المجتبى الحسن بن علي وفاطمة. في كتاب الأمالي للشيخ الصدوق ذكرت هذه الرواية عن الإمام الصادق عليه السلام عن أبيه عن جده عليهم السلام أن الحسين بن علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام دخل يوما إلى الحسن عليه السلام. With permission from Dr. Yasir, let me just, I will try and translate just the story part, because I realize there are non-Arabic speakers in the majlis, and for the benefit of our children as well. But the poetry, inshallah, I will read in Arabic, so inshallah. Imam Hussein, this is the riwayah in the Sheikh As-Saduq's book, the Amali, narrated from Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam, from his fathers. Imam Hussein arrives to visit Al-Imam Al Hassan, and it seems it was at the time that Imam Al Hassan was ill with one of the incidents that he was poisoned. So Imam Al Hussein alayhi salam takes one look at Imam Al Hassan and then he starts crying. So Imam Al Hassan alayhi salam becomes concerned for Imam Al Hussein, and he asks, ما يبكيك يا أبا عبد الله. إذن الإمام نظر ثم بكى. فقال له الحسن عليه السلام ما يبكيك يا أبا عبد الله. Imam Hussein answers, I am crying for what is being done to you. جواب الإمام كان قصيرا ولعله لأنه كان ما زال في حالة البكاء. If you notice, the answer of Imam Al Hassan is very short, and that is possibly because Imam Al Hassan didn't stop crying. قال أبكي لما يصنع بك. Then Imam Al Hassan alayhi salam started to be more concerned and focused his attention on Imam Al Hussein alayhi salam. We realize that Imam Hassan and Hussein are one spirit in two bodies. They are the Rayhanata of Rasulullah. And it is as if he was saying, if you don't want to tell me what's inside you, let me speak up and let me speak, my brother Hussein. فقال له الحسن عليه السلام إن الذي يؤتى إلي سم يدس إلي فأقتل به. This is poison that they have brought to me that they intend to kill me with. ولكن لا يومك يومك يا أبا عبد الله. But there is no day like the day of Ashura, Ya Aba Abdullah. يزدلف إليك 30,000 رجل يدعون أنهم من أمة جدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. It is as if I can see 30,000 claiming to be the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our grandfather, and claiming to follow the religion of Islam, and they are gathered, all 30,000 of them, to try and kill you, to try and spill your blood, and attack your sanctity, and take your daughters and sons and your ladies and take them as hostages. يدعون أنهم من أمة جدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وينتحلون دين الإسلام فيجتمعون على قتلك وسفك دمك وانتهاك حرمتك وسبي ذواريك ونسائك وانتهاب ثقلك ويبكي عليك كل شيء حتى الوحوش في الفلوات والحيتان في البحار. And on that day everything will cry for you, Ya Aba Abdullah. Well, this story, can we say for sure that it was the time that Imam Hassan alayhi salam was killed? Well, it seems so, but why the question? Why am I asking this question? It's because Imam Hassan alayhi salam was poisoned many times, and every time it was with the intention of killing him. It is narrated from Imam Hassan alayhi salam in the book of Al-Ghadir. كان يقول سقيت السم مرارا ما أصابني فيها هذه المرة لقد لفظت كبدي. And he was talking about the time that Jordan gave him the poison. وفي نفس الرواية يقول ومكث شهرين, and he suffered that poison for 2 months. 2 months he was suffering the effect of that poison. ومكث شهرين وإنه يرفع من تحته طستا من دم حتى قضى ممتثلا لأمر بارئه في السر والعلن، من مبلغ المصطفى والطهر فاطمة، إن الحسين دما يبكي على الحسن، يدعو يا عضدي في كل نائبة، ومسعدي إن زمان رماني الدهر بالوهن، لهفي لزينب تدعوه ومقلتها عبرا، وأدمعها كالعارض الهتني، قضى الزكي فنوحوا يا محبي، وابكوا عليه فذي الأملاك تبكي، قضى ابن فاطمة الطهر البتولة من عم البرايا جميعا في أياديه، قضايا وقد قطعت أحشاؤه قطعان، وصار يقذفها بالطشت من فيه، قضايا وظلم وجه الكائنات أسى، لما صيت بصوت الحزن ناعيه، رزون بكت عين الحسين له، ومن ذوب الحشا عبراته تتدفع، إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.
نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم العز الجل الأكرم، وبالقرآن المستحكم، وبفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها، يا الله 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 يا رحمن يا رحيم يا أرحم الراحمين، يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك، واكفنا يا قاضي الحاجات ويا كافي المهمات، إنك على كل شيء قدير، يا من يقبل اليسير ويعفو عن الكثير، اقبل منا اليسير واعفو عنا الكثير. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد O Allah, please send the best of salutations to Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Please take our love, our devotion to Imam Al Hassan Al Mujtaba. Please honor us in dunya to be with them and in akhirah to be with them. Please give us the traits of character of true followers of Ahlul Bayt. Please keep us, our children, always on the right path. Please make us, our families, our communities always united and strong in faith. Please remove any obstacle between us and you. Please give Shafa to all people who are ill. Please give Shafa to the people that we know and have asked for prayer. Please give us Shafa in our illnesses of our heart and body. Please send your Rahmah and Maghfirah to all who taught us about yourself, about Islam, about Ahlul Bayt. Please bless our parents who are alive with healthy and dignified life. Please bless those parents who have passed away with being able to be with Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Reward them for every good thing that they did and forgive them for any shortcoming they had. O Allah, please give long life to our maraj, to our ulama, to our elderly members of community, to our volunteers, to every heart that beats for you and beats for your people. Please make the last moment of our life the best moment of our life. O Allah, please accept this majlis from the organizers and from those who have participated. ببركة الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.